Hey y'all, welcome back to an episode of A Who Are Gonna Be Their podcast, a place where you can be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chats. In the group chat tonight, we have your faves.
Y'all got a phone home.
How you doing?
Y'all got a phone home. It's ET in the building. ET in the building.
How you doing tonight, Eli?
I'm doing good. You know what? I missed last week. Felt a little wicked, and I'm back.
Yeah, Eli went to go see the Wicked, the stage play. How was it?
I enjoyed it. I got to give me like one play a year, and they did their thing. I'm about to be watching Wicked 2 times, or I guess 1.5 times, because the movie that's coming out is only part 1. But man,
really? I didn't know there were different parts.
Well, the play is like one whole thing, but they said for this movie, we're gonna milk it out a little bit, make them pay for 2 different parts and all that type of stuff.
I didn't even know that.
Man, the songs in there. Shout out Wizard of Oz. Shout out that in general. A bunch of bots. I'm
gonna have to go see that. Well, our lovely co-host Eric cannot be here tonight. We send him love. Y'all see him when y'all see him. Oh, that was an ugly cough. Y'all see him when y'all see him. He has some things to take care of. But we are going to jump right on into this episode. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
It was an okay one. Like, it wasn't like entertaining, but it was entertaining. I say, okay.
Man,
especially
it's like
towards
that.
The end, it got it good.
With Eric gone, I'm gonna get my basketball talks off. We were just talking right before this. This was like the Warriors game where the second half was good. First half, man, I could have fell asleep because what are we doing? A whole lot of recapping, a whole lot of challenge. But at least we got a hectic, fun tribal, which I'm excited to cover.
Yeah, tribal was good. Okay, so let's get right on into it. Where we last left off, we know Rachel got an idol. She didn't use it, but she did play her shot in the dark, which, threw a couple people for a loop. What I really wanted to see in this episode, like, I wanted to see the confession of her saying, I used it because of this. I don't care. I know everybody is saying that. I don't think she did that for that reason. I think she just wanted to keep hold of her idol. And she was just like, let me just see. I feel like it's just like coincidental. And she kind of was like, let me see how everybody reacts. I don't know.
Hey, we saw the confessional this episode to start. She said, what?
She didn't say she did it for that
reason. She did. She said, I played it to gauge everyone else. I was gauging everyone else. She did confirm that she played it in order to gauge the people. I was
about to say, okay. So I must have missed that part because I was just like, man, I wish we would have saw some. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I missed that part because I did slide in like 5 minutes after it started.
Yeah,
and shoot. Good. Okay, so I was wrong. I let her have that one.
Yeah, Rachel did her thing, and of course you have Sam right at the start saying, "Hey, got." And Sam did not get got. You got. And that's pretty much it, because Andy did his thing. Rachel, I guess Rachel got a little bit, but man, Sam got, and he's letting the people know, hey, the only mistake that they made was not getting rid of me. So, Survivor loves their redemption arcs. So, Sam's about the 18th person to have a redemption arc this season. So let's see if he can put it together.
Yeah. So when they finally get back to camp, like Eli was saying, Sam was looking defeated, like, dang, I was kind of like on the outside of everything. Like, I was feeling kind of nervous. I might have been, almost out the door. Not a lot of people were talking to me or whatever. So Andy and Sam, they kind of like go off and they're chit-chatting. And he's saying like, hey, we know. Andy's saying like, I'm at the bottom. Sam is like, I'm feeling the same way. Andy was like, I know you felt a little blindsided about it both tonight because you didn't really know, a lot was going on, but I really wanted you to stay. So shout out to Andy. Andy is, like we keep saying every week, Andy is he's elevating his game. And eventually, sir, you're going to become a target. But he's getting into the mix of things because the Andy that I'm seeing playing right now is a different Andy from week 1 for sure.
Mm-hmm. He's no longer crashing out.
Man,
he was gosh dang, like the past like 3 seasons we've always had a crash out candidate
Captain
where
Crash Out.
they crash out and they're gone in episode 3. And I thought Andy's perfectly in that slot, but no, we've seen him recover. And I think it was last episode we saw him put his hair down and say he's a new person, and he's betraying Sam and trying to get his like allyship back.
Exactly.
And still keeping that relationship.
Right. So, oops, I clicked on the wrong page. So, where am I at? Oh, Andy and Rachel, they slide off and they get ready to have a conversation, right? Andy, you can see him in his confessional. He's contemplating on should I work with Rachel or not? I don't know, because in the beginning, you know, I tried to work with her and things just didn't play out, but I still want to kind of like see where this goes. And then here goes Rachel on the other side. She's like, I don't know. I wanted to work with Andy, but I don't know if I trust him, to go back and forth. And then it goes back to them sitting back on the beach, and Andy like, hey, bro, like, are we gonna work together or what? And I love, like, come on, be direct. Like, y'all only got 20-some days. How many days are they on the island? Like 28?
Some, I think a little less.
So 20-some days, baby, time is running out. Okay, there are a lot of people gone, so get right to it. And Andy said, let's work together. And Rachel's like, bet. So we'll see how that goes, you know, as it carries on in the season.
And shout out to the Survivor editors, because I don't know if I was the biggest fan of a flashback like that, because that flashback kind of drug on. They said, oh yeah, they tried here, didn't work. Filler. They tried here, didn't work. But it's also good to have that recap, because I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about that initial interaction between those two.
Maybe I wouldn't have knew if they didn't tell us. I would have
like,
said,
oh yeah, they did want to sneak off the beach together and talk, and Rachel was like, no, I'm off that. People know.
Right, exactly. So the immunity, you want to talk about the immunity challenge for today?
Sure. Or today, I guess one other thing I think happened right before immunity is the non-blue people, whatever, Tuku and Lavo. I'm hoping that's the right color. Eric's great on these colors.
Eric know the names. We don't.
The non-blue people, they get together and they start to say, you know what? Who should we target next? And they're talking, chatting, and eventually the name Gabe comes up. And that ends up playing a pretty decent part in potentially some vote flips that we see later.
Yep.
But yeah, get into this the challenge. Right before they go out to the challenge, they get some tree mail saying, hey, you're going to compete in pairs, though only one will win. And so people get in their groups. You end up getting Sam and Andy, you get Gabe and Kyle, Caroline and Rachel, Genevieve and Sue, and Teeny and Saul. And everyone has their little confessionals. Sam's like, you know what? If I could beat anyone, it's Andy. So I want Andy next to me. Same thing with Kyle. We see Kyle being like, you know what? I can beat Gabe. So let Gabe be my partner, because if they go head to head, Kyle's like, I can't lose. I've won 3 immunities in a row. I'm going for number 4 or however many he's at.
Yeah, it'd be 4.
But cut to the challenge, and actually, right before the challenge, Jeff announces, hey, first place, of course, or we'll say the first 2 teams that are out, they lose their vote. The third place team, they get whatever. And then the top 2 teams, they end up getting a BLT gosh dang meal, little reward for winning.
So a little snizzack.
Man, I love seeing people talk on Twitter where it's like, man, why can't we have a week where no one loses their vote? They say we are allergic to normal weeks. We got to take away people's vote no matter what.
Now, I see that a lot of people don't like this, but I don't hate it, because you know, obviously cutting to it, they get an opportunity to get their votes back. And I think I feel like I like the fact that yes, they could go about it a different way, but I like the fact that they take a certain group of people and they take them outside of the game, because that gives more room for more content. That gives more room for, okay, let's see if they're gonna like get something together. Let's see if a deal's gonna come out of this. Let's see this, you know. Of course, not much came out of this one, but I'm okay with it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So we know Sam and Andy, Rachel and Caroline are the 4 that lost their vote, right?
And I'm not gonna lie, they kind of got hold in this challenge. So this challenge was you
Yeah.
had 3 different stages. The first stage, essentially, you got to crawl through a sand tunnel, dig up some stairs, and you're pretty much good. And I feel like Sam and Andy got hold a little bit. They put a little snip at the end of their bag because, man, they were in first,
Yeah, they were
first
doing
or
good.
second. They were crushing it.
They
No
was
way
up there.
close to losing. And they're pulling at this bag, and the cloth rips, and they're like, "Oh man!" And
Yeah,
they can
that wasn't fair.
recover. It's
Yeah.
rigged. They want Andy to be a crash out in all challenges. He would have won that too. No.
Yeah, they might have set that man up for failure. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let
But
me
yeah,
see.
those 4 lost their votes, go on a journey, and then second part they have to build the stairs, go across the balance beam, and Genevieve chokes, and her and Sue end up getting third place, which ultimately means nothing, but they end up being at camp alone. They don't get BLTs, but they get their votes.
Yeah.
And then final part is I think they love doing the teams into this standing against the wall challenge. Where you pretty much just got to hold yourself up with baby little footholds. And everyone lasts for quite a while. And then all of a sudden, boom, Teeny drops, or boom, Saul drops.
Like back to back. But when they got on that last little area, I think.
And they can't even see each other. So the fact that they dropped at the same time, that's like, oh.
That's crazy.
And so we're down to the team of Kyle and Gabe, the same person that Kyle's like, you know what? I could beat Gabe. And I believed in Kyle too. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for Gabe, because, you know, his name came up, Gabe ends up outlasting Kyle and gets himself a little immunity necklace.
And you want to know what's funny to me is when they were standing on the little, whatever you want to call it, the little stands, Gabe was struggling a little bit when they got to like, I think it was like the second level or whatever. And Jeff is like, hey, Gabe, how you doing? Gabe says, politely, don't talk to me. And he's like, politely accept it. Like, I was like, okay, I see the respect, but he's like, basically like, shut up, Jeff. My feet hurt. I'm tired. Leave me alone. And I was like, okay.
I almost wanted Jeff to keep poking, though. I wanted him to go like 30 seconds later. How about now, Gabe? Can you talk now? Because Jeff loves instigating. Politely, can I ask you another question?
No, and I asked him about 50 more questions, right? Gabe, I know you're sitting here thinking about this food because you haven't eaten in a while, huh? Like that's the old Jeff. Jeff would have like really bugged him, but I guess he was like, okay, I'll be nice.
Yeah, I gotta give Gabe his flowers for that. But what annoyed me is he said, "Let me do a little dance," and he hit the Ray Lewis. He hit the. I'm like, is that? I guess that is a dance. That's football players. So back. We're talking a lot about sports with Ray Lewis is,
but I thought like, because he said, "Can I hit this for like the people back home?" I'm thinking he did something like for his like culture or something. I was like, "What dance is that?"
And maybe I'm unaware.
He did the Ray Lewis. Come on, man.
Man, y'all gotta look up a clip of Ray Lewis, and he always comes out the tunnel and does a little whoo, and hit the just like Gabe did. So maybe it is some culture I'm unaware of, but
I don't know.
In my eyes, that's gonna be the Ray Lewis, and I'm like, why are you calling Ray Lewis a dance? And you have to hit that when you win, not when you get the necklace on you. All the adrenaline's gone, but still, shout out to you, Gabe, for winning.
Okay, but you want to know what's funny?
I do think Gabe is a football fan. I do think he's a football fan.
What was funny to me, because a lot of times stuff just be moving too slow on Survivor. So when I was watching it today, I put it on 1.5 speed, and so when he was dancing, he was like this.
He was moving.
Like he was moving. I'm like, and so everybody's kind of like, "Oh, okay, next." It was funny. Let's see. Okay, so okay, so when they when they are at the reward challenge, it was Gabe, Teeny, who else was there?
Saul and
Saul
Kyle.
and Kyle. Gabe was going to work. Okay, Gabe is hungry.
Ooh.
Last time, especially at the auction, all Gabe got was some water. And did he get some of that peanut butter?
Oh yeah, he got some peanut butter. He got peanut butter.
Some water and some peanut butter. A L is what I call that because that ain't doing nothing. Okay, so he was going to work. He said he think he was about to pass out. He's delirious. That food was so good, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious."
Man, why do they have to give us a burp contest? So they're like, "Oh, these guys are burp." I'm like, "All right,
listen,
headphones out. I don't want to listen to y'all burp."
Ain't nobody beat Chemo, okay? Nobody on any reality show can beat Captain Chemo with the burps. So you second place for you, Saul. You go ahead second place in that one.
CBS Awards coming out with the best burpers. Shout out Chemo. Shout out Chemo.
Yeah. So basically this sets a plan. The motion gets okay. So who was this that was talking? I can't remember who it was.
I will say
I can't remember who was. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say one other funny thing. Just a great editing trick that they had is at the reward. Pretty much, Kyle's like, "Hey, I don't really think Genevieve's a thanker." And what do? They cut over to Genevieve and Sue saying, Sue's like, "Man." I think, she ends up leaking that, hey, the rest of the people want to push for Gabe, the non-blue tribe, the non-lava, whoever blue tribe is, and ends up saying, yeah, they are talking about getting Gabe out. They aren't just going to keep it simple and get Sam out. So, how about
Sue's trying to work?
We get Saul out tonight. And it was an interesting name because those two, I mean, they were on the same starting tribe together, but I don't know. It's an interesting name to pull. I don't hate it. If you don't have a great relationship, hey, you could get anyone out.
So basically, Sue put the battery in her back, put the battery in Genevieve's back because baby Genevieve, she said, we about to be on a mission. Okay. So when the four get back from the reward challenge, they're all sitting up, and that's where Sue and Genevieve are or whatever. And they're like, hey, so the vote, and they basically blurt out, Sam the vote tonight, right? Like, that's obvious, right? To me, I'm like, huh? That's obvious when Kyle is right there.
I mean,
Kyle, we gonna leave Kyle here? He don't want 3 immunities. Kyle,
Kyle's sitting right there and Sam isn't. So it makes sense that they say that.
It should have been Kyle. And the fact that Kyle was so calm, unless it's just in the edit, but I don't see no word of Kyle be like, dang, I lost immunity. I should be like looking out for myself. Something's going on. Kyle was chilling.
He was chilling, but I think we saw he was nervous. So I think we did see the nerves come up where he's in a confessional like, oh man.
Nervous.
He said, I'm finally not safe.
Okay.
But it was so funny how Saul just immediately blurted that out. Where I know Sam isn't there, too. But I'm like, hey, what's your etiquette? What's your etiquette for telling people the plan? Because
listen, I would never say a name first. I don't care if it's two of us. It ain't coming from me. Because if a name gets said and I have to backdoor, sure, I can backdoor. I'd be like, listen, I didn't say your name. So and so did. Now, of course, I went along with it because what am I gonna do in that moment? But then I can work it out however I want to, because you would never say Tree said this name first. So that was really, I was like, oh, you feeling confident? You got your little BLT and your little tummy full, and so you like, oh no, I'm good. Like, sir, you did not win immunity. You need to slow your roll a little bit.
And shoot, I thought Genevieve and Sue were gonna be not upset about it, but it's like, what you doing? Just pulling up and telling us who we're voting for. Sam is not the plan. Right. Man, we were just starting to get you out. What you mean? What you think you're running things?
That's exactly what I'd be like. How you gonna come here and tell me? You asked me, hey, who do we want to vote? Not Sam. No. We have a discussion that we talk about. You ain't about to tell me who I'm about to vote for. And I know Sue face was like, I'm convinced Sue damn near don't like nobody on that island. She ready. cut. She ready to cut everybody. I ain't even mad at it
Mm-hmm.
either. So Genevieve pulls Gabe or whatever and was like, hey, your name getting brought up, brother. And he was like, me? Like, what's going on? You know, whatever. Oh no, this is when he had the immunity then. Oh, this is when they were talking about, never mind, erase that. They were talking about my brain just went to mush. Oh, they were talking about who to get out, and then that's when they set into motion to get Soul out. That's what it is. So they having a conversation about getting Soul out, and then they're like, okay, so let's see if we can gather these votes. The thing is the one vote that we really need, because 5 is a majority, is we need Caroline's vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all got to remember, Caroline went to the
currently has no vote, and they don't know what's going on, but they don't think that she has her vote, along with the other 3 people that went to the journey.
Yes. And she said,
man, yeah, Genevieve got that plan together real quick. She said
Genevieve was working this episode.
She really was. And the fact that she didn't even tell, I mean, we saw her multiple times saying, man, I wish I could tell Teenie, but I can't tell Teenie. And man, we got to a point where the 4 that went on the reward, 2 of them swapped over and they got the whole plan from Genevieve and Sue, and they were set on their plan to get Saul out without Saul or Teenie even knowing a thing.
Yep. So when they went on the journey that they did, they basically did, as Sam called it, reverse Jenga. So they had to make triangles. And so basically it's simple. Whose ever card fell, you're out. And of course it ends up coming down to Caroline, who loses her vote. Right. So of course she gets back. Soon as she barely got out the vote. She said, I lost my vote. Everybody like, God damn. Like, girl, we needed your vote or whatever. So Genevieve goes to Andy and says, let's get Soul out. And Andy like, you sure you don't want to do that next week? And she's like, nah, like now's the time. And then Andy's like, you know what? I was thinking about keeping Andy around for a little minute, but he was gonna have to go sooner or later anyways. And he said, you know what? If there is a chance for like a blindside to happen or to get out a big target, you gotta jump on it. And I like Andy say, you know what? That wasn't on my agenda, but if it's long as it ain't me, let's make some moves or whatever.
Hey, you got the plate in front of me? I'll snatch it up. And that's a perfect way to
what it is.
I feel like that's honestly in this point of the game, and we know Survivor of late where it's like you set up a blind side, you're then the biggest target. So it's like, hey, you're along with that blind side, but you won't be seen as a face, but you're still a crucial piece in that blind side. That's where, I kind of like it for Andy.
Right. So then Genevieve goes to talk to Rachel, and she pretty much does the same thing, like, hey, I think Soul should be, the vote. And you could clearly see like Rachel is like torn between what to do, because one thing about Rachel she gonna for the most part fall in line and do what's best for her game. But you can tell she was like, dang, Saul like gave me a lifeline, not too long ago. So she was
literally saved her life. Like not even a lifeline. She was gone.
You could have been out the door.
Yeah.
You could have been out the door. Would have been out the door actually. So you can tell she was going back and forth. But at the end of the day, as long as it ain't me. But then, oh Lord, Rachel goes to Sam, right?
Woo!
And says, listen, I can't tell you who the vote is for. I just know it's not you.
This is the worst way to do
it. Sam is like, okay, so so and so, whatever he said. He said, so let me guess. It's Saul. What do Rachel do? Confirm it. Girl, you just told him you couldn't say the vote. I would have said, Sam, fam, I can't get tied up, bruh. It's not you. Now, if you find out from somebody else, that's cool. But I'm being your friend right now, and I'm telling you the vote is not for you. So sit back, chill, and relax. But what did Sam do? She confirmed it. She shouldn't have did that. Sam, I'm telling you, it didn't even take a half a second.
Okay, this was really bonkers to me. Like, it literally looked like she told him, he got up. Saul was walking in. Like, okay, he said, Saul, let me get you around my shoulder. Let's go and walk over here. It was immediate. I'm like, you know what? I
Immediately.
respect it. I respect it. I know people might be up in arms
Mad
like,
at it.
man, it wasn't you, but he
Rachel
just lost
shouldn't
his
have
number one
confirmed it.
ally. He,
Rachel
yeah,
shouldn't have
one,
confirmed it.
it's, and I somewhat blame Genevieve a little bit. She said, you can tell Sam
Oh,
if
for
you
sure.
want.
You
She said,
no, shouldn't have.
that's your call. I'll leave it up to you if you want to tell Sam.
And at
But
this point, y'all know Sam is kind of,
y'all
you
just
know,
got Sam's
he's
number
okay.
one
He's
ally
ready for
out.
chaos.
Sam's on an
Exactly.
island, and his only solution is chaos. Because
Yep.
what happens if he just goes with the flow? He leaves at like 7,
Yep.
maybe even 8, and he can't keep going on that trajectory. So you know what? Sam says, I'm gonna try to shake it up. I'm gonna tell Saul, and Sam ends up saying the name like, all right, we got to push someone. You know who's Loki that we got to push? Sue. And I was like, Sue?
Listen, keep Sue name out your mouth.
She won one immunity. She won one immunity, and suddenly, oh man, she's social. No, his answers were just like, hey, she's social. She got everyone. She got the mom and daughter thing. She's cool with everybody. But man, what a shot to pull, because you could easily flip it on. It would have been simpler to beat Kyle.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think that helps Sam in the game. I think getting Sue out is probably the best for his game. It's just whether that can actually happen.
Coming for him. So then it comes down to, right, they get to, they're going back and forth at this point. You know, they're having conversations over here, they're having conversations over here. It's starting to get dark. Everybody like, hey, what we about to do? So at this point, Kyle's name is getting thrown out, Saul's name is getting thrown out, and Sue. These are the 3 that are in danger right now. Okay. So finally they get to tribal council, and you can tell everybody's face is kind of looking around like, what are we about to do? Like they don't have a set plan. And Jeff is just over here asking you, hey, what's your favorite holiday? What do you like to do on the weekends when you're not playing Survivor? And then they in the back scrambling like, Soul is whispering to Teeny and was like, hey, vote Sue. And Teeny like, huh? Like I ain't heard that. Like she like, what? Sue? Because the only name that Teeny knows should be Kyle, right?
It's Sam.
She did hear about Soul too. I mean Sam. So she's like, Sue, when it like she was looking like, child, what happened? Or whatever. You know, they can't really like have a full conversation. You know, they trying to whisper behind their back. Sam then whispers to Andy and was like, Sue. And Andy looking like, And then at this point, they're going back and forth. Everybody's whispering and this, that. At this point, you got to look at the people that are sitting there chilling. Sue like this.
Hey, guess what Genevieve's doing?
Like, no, it ain't me. No, it ain't me. What Genevieve doing?
Genevieve doing the same thing. She's just like, you know what? I mean, it was funny. She's calling them out. She's was it her that was saying no, Genevieve had a great line in this tribal where it's the great players can decipher noise from news or whatever the heck it was.
Woo! Noise from news. I know that's right. Go ahead, and one liner.
And Genevieve's right there confirming that. It's like, you know what, Jeff? I think there's a whole lot of noise going on back here. And she's just chilling.
It's just a whole bunch of noise. They over here going back and forth. Jeff was constantly giving them all types of questions or whatever. And we did see our first juror come in, Sierra. She looked pissed.
Woo.
Like, girl, you're gonna have to let it go.
You're gonna say another word because she also looked good. She looked good.
She did look good. She looked older, did she? Or was it just
she
me?
She did look different for a quarter second. Like I think it was. She might have looked older because I looked at her. I'm like, who's that for a second?
Older. And I'm like, who is that? Sierra, who's that? She did look good. She got her little bath. Look like she done had a little cheeseburger. She done ate some food. She looked healthy. Go ahead, Sierra. I ain't mad at it.
I always enjoy the Ponderosa, the jury glow up. They always glow up.
I love it.
Sierra, every time. Sierra rocked that glow up.
Yeah, she looked good. So they going around back and forth. During tribal, Soul tells Genevieve and Sue, and she said you said Kyle. That's what he said. She said, Soul told Genevieve Sue. And Genevieve looked back at him. She said, I thought you said Kyle. So what are we doing? So once again, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Teeny asked him who he's voting for. He said Sue. He said, did something change? She said, I don't even know. So much confusion, so much confusion. My notes say confusion, confusion, confusion. We don't know what's going on. So
Pandemonium.
honestly, at that point, I didn't know who was going home. To me, it was either going to. I at that point, I thought Kyle was out the mix. My gut told me it was either Sue or Soul going. Those were the two that were online. That was who I was thinking. So basically, we are here at the end, and the vote got down to Soul, and he read one vote for Sue. Sue was looking like, who the hell voted for me? Then next up, one for Soul, another one for Soul. Y'all get where it went, and he got 5 votes. Which later on we did see everybody voted for him except for obviously the one vote he did against Sue. But everybody voted him out, and our second member of the Ponderosa crew is Soul.
Man, it showed the up and downs of this game, where he was so crucial in getting Rome out, and the highs and lows of Survivor, where it's like, hey, you was someone rocking it. And I'm not saying his name coming up was random, but it sure felt like his name just came out of Genevieve's hat. Like, hey, you know what? I kind of want Saul out. So we're gonna get Saul out.
You know what? Let me just throw a name out there and let me see. Because it did feel kind of random.
See if I can work.
Right. I was like, well, if somebody gotta take the cake, and I ain't nobody on my team. So unfortunately, in our draft, Eric had Soul, and he lost a member of his draft. He only got one. Wait,
he's
left.
Only down to Andy. He just got Andy. Hey, he might lose 3 in a row.
No, Andy's been doing good. He kind of been playing the game a little, but I feel like he's not doing too much. So it's like, as long as there's somebody doing too much more than you might be good. You know what I'm saying? If it's at least 2 or 3 people doing much more than you, that's the key. Because of one person, you never know if they got idol. So as long as 2 people are doing more than you in the game, then you might have a dub or whatever.
It's still crazy how the early season, it's still messing with my how I view Andy, where it's like, I know he's been crushing it. I know he's flipped his position, let his hair down. He's a new player. But I still see Crash Out Andy. I don't know what'll stop it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna, in my opinion, I don't think he's gonna have any more crash outs. I feel like they're gonna be mini crashes. But I don't see him going full blown Andy. At this point, I'm gonna call a crash out of Andy. I don't see him going full Andy. But hey, you never know. You know, if it comes down to the perfect storm, honestly, you never really know.
I hope, you know what, if maybe this doesn't happen, because you know what, I'll look for Andy with Eric not being here. I'll give Andy his little bit of flowers. But
his little flower.
If he gets his torch snuff, like, I'm curious on his react. I can see it being both extremes, where he's completely cool with it, but also if that's the last little crash out Andy, if that's the last Andy that we see, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
So we shall see. In the episode next week, I don't know if y'all saw the preview. Sue is pissed, but Sue is always pissed. I don't even know what to tell you. It seems like there's somebody always rubbing Sue wrong, so she is upset. And the only other little tea I have for y'all. Oh, go ahead.
Ooh, I was about to say, this is like the 4th preview where Sue is like, I want Kyle out. I hate Kyle. Get him off my island.
She's not like that, man. I don't know what it is about Kyle, but she's not feeling that, man. Kyle, what did you do to Sue? Leave that girl alone.
Man, my guy just chilling, eating his buffalo wings one time, and I truly don't know, because I feel like we didn't get that aspect. Wait, did he write her name down day one? Or their first tribal? I forget.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Because I know it's TK and her. But
it might have been. I think so. Don't quote me on that, but maybe.
Yeah, I think it was TK and him voted Sue, but I don't know.
listen, speaking of names, I ain't gonna spoil it here for y'all, but if y'all haven't heard, to get a little tea from the streets, Rome did an interview somewhere. I don't know for who. Shout out to them, whoever did the interview. He did an interview and he basically said, I don't know exactly how the question was worded, but it was something like who do you like in this order, or what boot order do you think is gonna happen? Something along those lines, right? So he literally names everybody that was left in the game from top to bottom. Turns out the order that he's naming has been going correct.
Wait, so who did he name first? Wait, did he like name Sierra first? Like, did he go Sierra and then Saul? Of course, don't go down the list. I don't want to know.
I'm not gonna say the names and orders because I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. But from the list that I see, unless they just only wrote obviously what's current, Saul was the one going today. Yesterday. So
hey,
is this gonna, did he inadvertently like tell us who the winner is? Maybe. I don't know.
Did he just mess with his Survivor 50 callback? They said,
yes.
Q, we want you instead of Rome. Come on to the island. It was between you two, and Rome done choked.
Because I definitely think Jeff was not one for spoilers, you know? So, and I feel like Jeff is the main one being like, oh no, we gotta have Rome because, you know, drama, mess, you know, he likes that chaos. But
does he though? Because have you seen what else has been going around the streets?
What I miss?
Pretty much in an interview, Jeff said, I don't want anyone on the Survivor 50 island that's holding a grudge. I want people essentially full of joy. I want joyful people and not people that hold a grudge.
He lying. You gotta have a couple people holding a grudge because that's trauma. Okay, like one or two is cool. You ain't gotta have a whole cast, but put a couple of like rivals on there. Let's see what happens, you know?
And that's where people are tripping. That's where people are like, hold up, Jeff. Like, why are you saying that? So people are on this case. I think this is just Julie Chen would say something like, this is like something Julie Chen would say, and she still wants a mess. So I don't think Survivor 50 will be some hold hands. What's the joke? Survivor 44, a hold hand season where everyone's best friends. Yep. I don't know if that's on deck, but I don't know.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps us for our latest episode of Survivor. If you haven't already, go follow us on Twitter. At AWAGBT there. Follow us on Instagram at the same name, and also turn on those notification bells for YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share, tell your friends. Thanksgiving is coming up. You know what? Grab your friends' phones and say, hey, subscribe to my favorite podcast. Okay, we would love that.
What? While you eat your layered salad. Those who know, and I know Treese knows.
I do not know. Don't lie to these people. I do not know. I do not know.
We'll talk about it.
All right, y'all. We will catch y'all next week for another episode. Hey, who are gonna be there? Until then, y'all have a lovely night.